All right, what's going on, guys? I hope you all are having a great day. I wanted to share a little testimony with you guys, mainly because I don't ever do it, right? I don't really want to share a testimony because I sell the product. I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to sell my product. But with that being said, I've been doing a lot of thinking and felt God talking to me, and I'm feeling compelled to share other people's testimony. Maybe someone who hasn't shared it publicly, they've just shared it with me. I'm going to start doing this over the next couple of weeks because I think it's information you guys should hear. And I'm sharing it because I'm hoping that someone out there is suffering with similar problems and can find our products or similar products. You don't have to buy from us. This isn't a marketing like you got to buy from me, but buy products that can, have the potential to improve someone's quality of life. And so what was going on is his dad was his independency was taken away from him, right? He was, obviously independent, able to do things like gardening, driving, and then all of a sudden, with unknown explanation, all the stuff was taken away from him. He was experiencing paralysis. He was unable to do the things he loves, unable to garden, drive the car, and what happened is he ended up being wheelchair bound. Because his legs were giving out on him. I read the studies, I read the research papers, and this is the problem with, cannabinoid medicine all the way across the board is I've read the research papers. I know it has neuroprotectant properties, which means it's able to protect neurons that are still intact from damage or further degradation. So I know that it has neuroprotective properties. I know that it has CBD specifically acting on the endocannabinoid system can improve two-way nerve cell communication. And I always think about it like this. You have this road, the two-lane road, you have messages being sent and messages being received. Well, sometimes in different neurological conditions or neurodegenerative conditions, more specifically, that two-way nerve cell communication is blocked. You know what I mean? And what he was experiencing is an autoimmune condition that the doctors don't know. He was going months and months and months without treatment, without answers. So I know that it can improve two-way nerve cell communication. I know that it has neuroprotective properties. I know that it can do some great things for the central and peripheral nervous system, right? Because we have those cannabinoid receptors deeply embedded in our CNS and PNS. But here's the problem is we don't know what dosage, we don't know what degree, we don't know that these neuroprotectant properties we don't know if it has the potential to address disease or if it's better used as a preventative. You know what I mean? Like there's just so unknowns when it comes to treatment. But we also know that the endocannabinoid system modulates immune response. They modulate our immune system. That's important for autoimmune conditions like this gentleman was experiencing, but autoimmune conditions across the board. So again, this is what the research paper studies show and say, and this is just what I share. But it has the ability. So if you have an overactive immune system, it can work as a two-way swinging door. It can lower an overactive immune system and bring it down to baseline or homeostasis. And on the flip side, if you have a under-functioning immune system, it can bring it up to basis through the endocannabinoid system. Right? That's what this system does. It maintains cellular homeostasis. More specifically, our white blood cells, our immune cells, they have these CB2 receptors present on their cell surface. So what that means is we can biohack these cells. We can basically control their functioning. You know what I mean? If they're over functioning, we can kick them in the butt, slow them back down. If they're under functioning, bring them back up to baseline. But that's important for an autoimmune condition because we have the ability to down regulate an overactive immune system from a body from attacking itself. And the studies show that the endocannabinoid system, when utilizing cannabinoids, is so effective at lowering an overactive immune response that they've started to utilize and study it for organ transplant. We know the problem with organ transplant is, we have this foreign invader, we have this new organ, these new tissues, and the body sees it as an invader, we attack it. But what the studies are showing that cannabinoids are able to effectively lower the immune system to, stop an attack on the body, so we can stop with organ rejection, right? The goal is to reduce organ rejection. And they found out that it was so effective at lowering an overactive immune system, but the difference between this and conventional medicine is, and this is key, this is a lifesaver, this needs to be shared across the world, but it was so effective at lowering an overactive immune system without compromisation. This is the problem we see in cancer patients, people taking autoimmune conditions. They're lowering their immune system, but in turn they're getting sick. They're much more susceptible to various pathogens, right? They're immune compromised. And if you're a cancer treatment patient, and your immune system is downregulated, potentially something like pneumonia, these types of things become life threatening. So, through the research, through these studies, we know that it was able to effectively lower an overactive immune system associated with autoimmune conditions, organ transplants. But here's the key part and the difference between that and conventional medicine: it was able to do it without immune compromising. That's the difference between day and night. This could be potentially life saving. The problem with this is, again, we're in such the beginning stages of research. We don't know to what degree. We don't know how effective it is. We don't know the correct dosage. Does that dosage vary from person to person? If so, how do we titrate to get the intended results? But long story short, this gentleman started utilizing our full spectrum CBD oil, and I gave it to him. I'm not trying to make, of course, this is how I make a living, but I'm not trying to, just sell to everyone. Like, I genuinely have compassion for people. I have passion in my business, and I have passion in cannabinoid medicine because I've seen the potential it can do firsthand. And with that being said, I donated the full spectrum 2,500 milligram CBD oil, which has about 84 milligrams of CBD, where we get a lot of the immune modulatory, the anti inflammatory properties, paired with 2 milligrams of THC, enough to take advantage of THC's pain relieving properties and activate those nociceptors on our ascending and descending pain pathways, but not enough to intoxicate. And I think that's what's great. A lot of people think that they're immediately just going to be lit. We have products that have lower dosages that don't do that. So, anyways, I donated the full spectrum 2,500 to him, and he's like, "Man, you won't believe it." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You won't believe this." He's like, he is back to functioning. He's back to driving. He's back to gardening. And we don't know what it is. We haven't changed anything in his daily routine except included the CBD. And of course, I'm blown away. It's like I read these research papers, but I haven't seen it firsthand. A lot of medical researchers haven't seen it firsthand. If so, like I said, we run into those problems of what dose. So he started to get his life back. He started to improve two-way nerve cell communication. And my question is, was it able to improve it enough to address other neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's? Able to improve two-way nerve cell communication? Was it able? I don't know. You know what I mean? He's back to doing normal things, and was it able to effectively lower his overactive immune system? And was this unknown condition, this autoimmune condition attacking his nervous tissue, did it address it that much that it's able to stop and slow the progression of the disease, or did it just help him to gain his independency back? You know what I mean? It's like, to what degree did it do? Anyways, I don't know. There's so much unknowns in cannabinoid therapy, but I wanted to share the story. I thought it was absolutely amazing to be able to utilize the neuroprotective, the anti-inflammatory, the antioxidant properties to address and immune modulatory properties to act on the nervous tissue, to act on these immune cells. But I thought this was one great example of watching CBD oil with just CBD oil, like, right, what can it do? But being able to draw the connections between the research papers that I read and actually put it and apply it. And I donate this, and I love and appreciate all the feedback. It helps me to understand dosage, how it varies from person to person. But if we can do all those things through these natural plant compounds, improve someone's quality of life, what I mean? I felt compelled. God was, telling me to share this, and I didn't want to come at it from a sales standpoint. I wanted to come at it from a passion in medicine, a passion in improving disease, a passion in improving mankind's health and wellness, and improving everyone's, quality of life. I think that if we can rely on something natural, something that comes without the negative side effects of conventional therapy, and conventional therapy is good too, you know what I mean? But again, that problem arises, is that does the do the cons or the negative side effects outweigh the pros? And one of those being is immune modulatory or immunosuppressant drugs seen with chemotherapy, seen with autoimmune conditions. I thought this was great. I thought this was fantastic, and I felt shared to share it. So I hope you guys, appreciate that. I'm going to start sharing stuff a little more often, sharing people's testimonies, and coming at it from a passion of medicine and not from a salesperson. Because again, that's why I didn't ever share it to begin with, because I just didn't want to come off as that person. But I'm letting you know right now that this is not a sales pitch. This is not medical advice. This is me reading research papers, formulating organic, handmade products made with passion, made with love, because I've seen what cannabinoid therapy can do for my family specifically in terms of cancer, and then being able to turn around and give it to other people and see the positive impact it has on their life. I think it's amazing. I think that God made these cannabinoid, these cannabinoids are unique to cannabis. There's tons of other phytochemicals found in various plants, around the world, but cannabinoids are unique to cannabis, and they have extraordinary properties, and they act like a lock and key fitting mechanism within our receptors, within the endocannabinoid system, in the central peripheral nervous system. Various organs, most organs have cannabinoid receptors as well. And when we learn what the endocannabinoid system does, as far as modulating neurotransmission, neurodevelopment, immune system, pain, mood, sleep, appetite. I mean, this receptor system that God gave us in our bodies does so many wonderful things, and I think it's so amazing that these specific cannabinoids, these plant compounds, fit like a lock and key in those receptors and can modulate various physiological activities in the body. It's amazing. So, thanks for sticking around, guys. You have a blessed day. See ya.